We are Brooke and Gary. One Life has been our home for the past 2 years and over 6,000 nautical miles. In our last episode, we spent our days diving with some amazing marine life and soaking up the sun. But it's time for us to get going again.
Well, we've been here at Montuosa for a few days now, and it's a really crazy island. It is super rugged. It's pretty much all rocks, but we've had a lot of fun exploring here. The anchorage is not really much of an anchorage. You kind of just drop the hook in the shallows off the island and you bounce and roll around. So we are getting ready to head out of here. I just got done setting up the jack lines and securing everything on deck. And Brooke's been down below making some food for tonight for our passage, because today we are finally leaving Panama. I think it's been 5, maybe almost 6 months that we've been in Panama, and it's been absolutely amazing. From the San Blas to Bocas del Toro, to crossing the Panama Canal, to Las Perlas, and now up here heading up the Pacific coast. It's just been a wild 6 months. We've had a ton of fun and visitors and made new friends, but it's that time for us to head to a new country. So today we are going to set sail for Costa Rica. We're gonna head to the Bay of Golfito, and we're able to clear into the country there. And hopefully it's a nice calm anchorage so we can get ourselves put back together after a few long weeks out here on the hook bouncing around at these remote anchorages. So looking forward to a good sail. Hopefully we catch some more fish. We definitely could use some tuna. I'm craving sushi, so we'll see how it goes.
Our line started going off like crazy as soon as we pulled anchor. The bonita bite was on fire. We threw them all back. To us, bonita are quite oily and not so great as sushi, and we were hoping for something a bit more tasty. The bonita definitely kept us busy for a while. We probably caught 6 or 7 in 3 hours.
Montuosa is slowly fading away in the background, and we just had hot dogs for lunch because in Costa Rica, we're not able to enter their waters with any pork products on board. So we have 4 more hot dogs to eat before we arrive in Costa Rica. I'm not sad about it. I actually love hot dogs.
After lunch, our line went off again. We weren't expecting to catch this.
Relax. Oh man. I got it.
You got him?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, shit. Is he okay?
I think he's gonna make it. He's like trying to.
Did he calm down enough for you to?
Yeah, and I was able to untangle it from his wing. I was gonna just cut it, but I was able to untangle it.
Thankfully, Gary was able to save the booby, and we were on our way again.
Well, we just got the sails up. We had to motor for the first couple hours because there was only 4 knots of wind. But the wind picked up to about 8 knots, so we put the main all the way up, and we've got the Genoa out. And we're sailing upwind at about 5 knots. So not quite on the course we need to be on, but still beats motoring. So nice to not have the motor running anymore.
We had a relaxing afternoon and spent some time reflecting on our journey. We couldn't believe that Costa Rica will mark the 13th country we've sailed into. The sense of achievement we feel when arriving someplace new is pretty addicting, and it is this feeling that keeps us going out here, even when things get tough. The day went by pretty quickly, and before we knew it, sunset was upon us once again. We've seen quite a few sunsets out here, but for some reason, this one seemed extra magical.
All right, so that is the sound of our engine. It is midnight. Gary and I just changed shifts. And since we put the sails up, we've been tacking back and forth, and we've only made about 8 miles. And we have some current and wind chop against us, so we went ahead and decided to motor sail for a little while to see if the wind picks back up or maybe changes direction. We can get to sailing again, but for now, we're literally tacking back and forth and only making like 2 miles of progress. So we will motor sail for a little while, and then maybe we can sail in a bit. Good morning. Welcome to Costa Rica. We had a really quiet night. We actually motored the whole way. We have 22 miles to go, and we're just getting ready to go into the Golfito Bay. We have about 4 knots of wind right on the nose, so not good weather for the spinnaker or the sails right now. We had a really calm evening, and it was really, really nice. We were able to get some rest, so that's always good. Well, as we're approaching the bay of Golfito, the wind picked up a little bit, so we were able to put the sails back out. And we have 15 miles to go before we get to the anchorage. But it was a peaceful night of motoring, but not too much excitement. We tacked for a little while and then decided just to go ahead and motor sail. But yeah, another new place to explore. So I decided to make us breakfast as we are approaching the bay. And guess what is for breakfast this morning? Yep, the rest of the hot dogs. We can't let them go to waste.
We just dropped the mainsail and we are motoring the rest of the way into Golfito. There's absolutely zero wind right now, which It's a little disappointing to not be able to sail the last few miles, but that's okay. The wind was quite variable and light on this sail, so we did a lot more motoring than we normally like to. But when there's no wind, you don't really have many options. So we're gonna go get anchored in the bay here and figure out what the check-in procedure is. We have been in contact with an agent, so we're gonna try to get a hold of her and figure out what we need to do to get checked in.
We just got back from the marina office and they were super friendly in there. We gave them our passports and our boat documentation and all of our paperwork. So now we just wait to see if we can check in later today or if we have to wait until the morning. So for now, we're just quarantined to our boat. All right, well, we've been hanging out on the boat all afternoon, waiting for Customs and Immigration to get back to us, but apparently we have to wait until tomorrow. So we're gonna go ahead and have our passage drink. Cheers to another country. Another
Costa
country
Rica.
to Costa Rica.
Bienvenido a Costa Rica.
Para vida.
Golfito is Costa Rica's most southern port town. It used to be a thriving banana port for many years. However, this changed when the United Fruit Company moved to Ecuador. The area is pretty quiet these days, except for marinas that support the tourism surrounding the Pacific sport fishing industry. Not too many sailboats come through these waters, and we were looking forward to getting checked in so we could explore.
All right, we just got word that we need to go pick up the health inspector to come out to our boat. So I'm walking up to the marina office and gonna pick him up and take him back to One Life to do whatever he needs to check.
Tuesday.
Ayer,
Ayer, 12:30.
12:30.
Sí.
Sí, 12:30.
12:30.
Been cleared from quarantine.
Yay!
This is the first time in all of the places we've been that we've actually been instructed to take down the quarantine flag. Very on top of everything here. All right, so we are cleared by the health inspector now. He wanted to make sure that we had no pork on board and that fruits and vegetables were all only from Panama. And now we need to go to immigration. So we're headed back to the marina office.
Because of COVID requirements, it was mandatory for us to use an agent to check in. So we enlisted Gabby from Banana Bay Marina to act as our agent. Our first cab ride was to the immigration office. Luckily, she coordinated everything for us, so we just had to go along for the ride and sign the documents. With our stamped passports in hand, we were now legal to stay in Costa Rica for 90 days. Next up was the customs office. Here we received a temporary import permit, which allows One Life to be imported into the country, also good for 90 days. Alright, so we are officially checked in to Costa Rica now. I think it's time for a beer, Gary. What do you think?
Gracias. No beers yet. We have to check One Life in first.
The port captain's office controls incoming and outgoing ship traffic, so we needed this final stamp of approval before we were able to roam free. Total cost, including agent, to check into Costa Rica was $390 US.
So we just went to the ATM now that we're all cleared in and got cash out. So we got 350,000. They use colones here, which right now the exchange rate is about 650 colones to $1 US. So this should last us a couple months, I hope. We've been officially in Costa Rica for less than an hour and I'm already eating street meat. This is like a dough ball with meat and cheese and potato in it, and it's really good.
How much was it?
3 for 1,000 colones, so that's about $1.25 for 3 of them. So we got meat pockets, and then I also got these dessert looking things. There's like a caramel inside of this bread.
Good.
You gotta try it.
Terrible.
So these were about 50 cents each, and they're so good. I'm gonna get so fat.
This morning we've decided to go on a little hike that was just a short cab ride away from where we're anchored. And here's the start of the trail.
After a quick break, we took advantage of the waterfall to refill our bottles from Epic water filters. These are the best bottles because we can refill them at any stream, river, or waterfall, so we don't need to carry extra water around with us. If you're interested in one for yourself, check out the link in the description below and use promo code EPIC1LIFE for 20% off your order.
It feels really good to be back in Costa Rica. Gary and I came here 4 years ago to come to my cousin's wedding, but we actually spent some more time here just backpacking around, and we absolutely loved it here. And it's actually how we got the travel bug. We met some backpackers who were staying in hostels, and they're like, yeah, we just quit our jobs and now we travel full time. And we're like, wow, why don't we do that?
He doesn't know which way to go.
After walking around all morning, we were ready for lunch, so we made our way back to town.
All right, what are we eating?
So we're eating the Costa Rican national dish, which is casados, which is typically rice, beans, a meat of your choice, and salad. Looks like there's a fried plantain and a green banana, which is really good. We've not had green banana since Grenada. Yeah, we're at this little soda, which is a spot that people typically have breakfast or lunch. And so far the food's really good. And we're having a soda with ice.
So casados in English directly translates to married, which I guess is because it's like all of the foods on one plate. And our meals cost about 2,800 colones, which is about $4 each. Not bad.
This seems like a good stopping point, so we will see you next time when we venture outside the typical touristy hotspots and continue sailing north. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching.